So I turned 30 recently, and I honestly feel like there's so much societal pressure about turning 30. I mean, what's the big deal? Kini big deal. Everywhere you go, it's like, oh, the dreaded 30, the big 30. It's just a number, right? So I'm here to debunk some of those myths you hear about turning 30 and just address them, because to be honest, it's not really that serious. What's up, lovelies? My name is Tomiwa Oladele and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm here to debunk all the myths you've heard about turning 30. Yes, the dreaded 30. 30? Yeah, 30. But before we get into it, I'd love for you to click that subscribe button, because I wouldn't want you to miss any video that I have coming your way. I'd also love for you to turn on the notifications so you get notified and updated whenever a new video goes up. Right, so let's get into it. So I've been 6 months in these 30 streets, and as an OG, okay, I'm just joking, I'm not an OG, I'm still a youngin, but yeah, I'm here to address all of those lies that we've been told about turning 30. I know a lot of us, me included, there was this pressure and this big deal about turning 30, and when it finally happened, I was just like, okay, is this it? Whereas like I was expecting like this major change, and nothing felt the same. So why did they lie to me? Why did they lie to us all? Let's address some of these lies. So the very first myth is that your 30th birthday is your worst birthday and you should dread it because you're turning old. Let me tell you, foul. That is a big lie. Because I remember speaking to one of my friends and she was like, oh, when you turn 30 you feel different, you know. So I was expecting to have this Cinderella moment that, you know, 11:59 I'll feel like a youngin. Then when the clock strikes 12, something will happen inside of me and I'll all of a sudden feel old. But nothing. Like it turned 12 and it was like, okay, I'm 30. Big deal, you know. So there's no big deal. Nothing changes. You don't feel any different from when you were 29. That's the honest truth. And if you do feel different, I'm going to tell you why. Is because all of this, people had gotten into your head and had been winding you up about turning 30, and you've, you know, somehow worked yourself up due to societal pressures or societal expectations about turning 30. So that would be the only reason why you'd probably feel depressed on your 30th birthday, because I know I've spoken to a couple of people and they felt depressed on their 30th birthday. But if you realize that all of these people that are putting pressure on you, and you know, even the most successful person at 30 still has a milestone or still has an accomplishment that they're yet to hit in this life. Every age, every day, a new milestone, you know. So some people are 30, I want to be married. Okay, so after marriage, then comes what? Children. After children, then comes what? There's one thing after the other. It's always one thing after the other. You know, there's no point where you have arrived. Be it 30, 40, 50, 60. There's always one thing you want to accomplish after the other. So don't put pressure on yourself. You know, if you haven't hit societal's expectations of yourself, relax. There's no big deal. Take one day at a time. If you're able to look at turning 30 as a new year, a new decade, a new lease of life, new opportunities, you see how easy it is to turn it into #thankful30. Another myth I'd like to talk about is particularly centered around women. Well, not just around women, to be honest, but I feel like women feel this pressure more than men. And it is the fact that if you turn 30 and you're still single or you're not yet married, it's all over for you. I don't understand, Maka, why? Like, I honestly feel like there's so much pressure on getting married and less pressure on getting married right or marrying the right person. I feel like what's most important is marrying right at whatever age you are or it is that you marry. And what's even more important is staying in the marriage because you want to and because you're actually happy, you know. So if it hasn't happened for you, yes, I get the pressure and I get the desire. I know a lot of us have this, you know, time map that we've given ourselves, and we've been like, okay, you know what, at 30, I want to be married. I want to have had this amount of kids or whatever. Yes, I get it. But sometimes, you know, it doesn't happen as you plan it. And if you're like me, who's a believing Christian, you know, you trust in God's timing and know that, you know, if it hasn't happened yet, it's because he has something better for you, or it's because he's saving you, you know, for the best, or reserving you for the best. So, my darling, this time that you're single, you know, use the opportunity and use the time to get to know yourself. Use the time to fall in love with yourself. Use the time to know what makes you happy. Use the time to identify what you really want in life and identify ways to get there. And I mean, take each day at a time. Every single day, look for one thing that makes you happy, whether it is talking to friends, whether it is doing a skincare routine, whether it is, you know, writing, drawing, taking pictures, reading, whatever it is. Take the time each day to do something that makes you happy, and you see that you'll be happy. It's not that serious, girl. The third myth I'd like to talk about is the fact that when you turn 30, you should have it all figured out. Why? Why should you have it all figured out at 30 and not at 20 or at 40 or at 50? Like, the whole concept of having it all figured out is even really flawed, because nobody has anything figured out at any age. The honest truth is, we are all dealing with whatever card life throws at us, you know, and figuring it out really just means having a new outlook of life, having a new perspective on subjects as the day goes by, or as the time goes by, or as the years go by. So nobody has it all figured out. See, even Dangote, even the richest man in the world, I promise you, we're all still figuring this thing called life out. And let's take COVID for example now. Nobody, even the person that has planned their life to the T and has planned their calendar to the T, could have been prepared for, you know, COVID and how it disrupted all our lives and all our plans. So what's the moral of that story? You can even plan, have this grand plan and have it all figured out, but then at the end of the day, it could all come to nothing, you know. So you're not expected to have it figured out at 30. However, I'd like to balance it out by saying that some people hide under the umbrella of, oh, don't let anybody pressure you. Oh, the world is not showing their failures. You know, oh, take life as it comes. They hide under that umbrella to be complacent in life. They hide under that umbrella to not have any sense of direction, you know. So it's the opposite of having it figured out, or not having it all figured out is not having nothing figured out. Do you understand? At least have something figured out, or at least have a sense of direction. At least, you know, if you don't have it, then now is the time to think about it and see, okay, where am I really going? You know, what really makes me happy? You find that you ask some people, you know, about themselves, and they will be fumbling to even just tell you as basic about themselves. And the reason simply is because they've not had the time to know themselves, get to know themselves, get to know their likes and dislikes, get to know what makes them tick, get to know what interests them, get to know their dreams and their aspirations. So now is the time to, you know, get to know yourself. Yeah, so less pressure about having it all figured out, more pressure about having a sense of direction. The next myth I'm debunking is the fact that when you turn 30, you start to look old, or you won't look as youthful as you did when you were in your 20s. Like, this particular lie is from the pit of hell, because just take a look at me, right? Just take a look at me. Look at this face. Do I look a day over 16? No, you judge. You be the judge and let me know, right? I feel like looking young and feeling young is a thing of the mind. You know, it's not, there's no pressure to, oh, I'm now 30, I need to start dressing old, or I need to start looking old. Baby, forever young. Over here, we're team forever young, right? So that's not to say, though, that if you do not take care of what you eat, or what you put on, or what you consume socially, spiritually, all of that good stuff, if you do not take care of your skin, you're not gonna age. Honey, you're gonna age, right? But that could happen at any age. If you're 20 and you have poor eating habits, poor skincare habits, you're gonna look old at whatever age. So let's not tie it to 30, right? Let's 30 not take the fall for all the problems in the world, right? So just feel young, look young, take care of yourself, watch what you eat, be all about good vibes, and you're gonna be looking as young as me. The final myth that I'm debunking is that the 30s is the beginning of your life. I don't understand. So you're telling me that all my 10s and 20s and all that I've been through, you know, these years are just discounted and my life all of a sudden starts at 30. I don't think so. However, I do believe that your independent life might begin at 30, and with independence comes expectations. Now, I don't just mean societal expectations or family expectations. I also mean, what are your expectations of yourself? The honest truth is that 30, honey, you should have expectations of yourself, because you're in the big league now. You know, you should challenge yourself to be better. You should have visions. So what are those dreams and those visions that you wanted to hit at 30? If you've not hit them, how are you planning to hit them? If your dream was to be financially stable, what are you doing to get there? You know, if your dream was to be married, are you going out? Are you meeting people? Are you engaging? What are you doing to ensure that you get there? And at the end of the day, it all boils down to working on yourself at whatever, and having these conversations with yourself. So I guess what's left to say is thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And if you haven't subscribed, click the link below to subscribe, and comments, let me know your experiences about turning 30. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye. Wait, did I just really say at whatever age you are? Gosh, you're a bad girl. My Yoruba must always come out. Anyways.